Hi, everyone. How are you? This is Bethany Gagne, founder of Numinous, the organization that sponsors the now Resonant Peaceful Cities Project. We have a new name. And I'm here with my friend and colleague of many years, Dr. Karine Reinhold. Hi, Dr. Reinhold. How are you, honey?
Hi everyone. I am Karine Reinhold. I'm an associate professor at the University of Albany, and I have joined Bethany to support the statistics behind the Peace Project.
Absolutely. So today we're going to be sharing the results of the peace meditation research that we've done today. Many of you probably haven't even heard about the results of our earlier studies. Karine, can you quickly talk about those two studies? We did one in Schenectady and Albany, New York.
Right, we did the study in Schenectady was in 2018, and we showed that there was a 25% reduction in violent crime. And then we repeated the next year in Albany. We focused on a downtown neighborhood called the South End, and we showed somewhere between 25 and 30% reduction in crime. So we were very excited about those results. So Bethany brought it then to Louisville, right?
Yes, but through the invitation of some people, really passionate people in Louisville. We brought it to Louisville just this past summer, and they have been anxiously awaiting these results, which is why we're recording this now. So go ahead, Karine.
Okay, so let me share my screen. Where did I go? Here it is. Okay. So when you do a study like this, what we do is look at the series of time of counts of crime that happen in the city, and that's what you see in the top graph. You see the violent crime, and in the bottom graph you see the non-violent crime. Historically, the first one who did a study of this kind was the TM Institute. Well, somebody affiliated with the TM Institute, and they did a very well-known study that they show also around 13-15% reduction in violent crime. Okay, not in all the crime, but just in violent crime. So following that study, we also pay particular attention to the nonviolent crime. So what you see in the graph, you see in green, you see a trend, and you see a dip right there at the time of the Peace Project. The Peace Project is where the two blue lines are, and you see the dip that there was, in average, a lower count. So it is difficult to get an idea of the significance of the result just by looking at this graph. So we do two things. First of all, we need to model it with a time series. And in the time series, we also need to account for the effect of weather, because the crime goes up as the weather improves, because people are out, they're spending more time outside. In the summer, there's more people at night also. Anyway, historically, it's a cyclical event, that there is more crime in the summer than there is in winter. Because in winter, people usually, I don't know where you are, but where I am is very cold, so they tend not to go outside as much, so there is less crime overall. So the time series model, what it does is account for the effect of the crime. So for example, we see here the combined counts in periods that were of the same length as the Peace Project, right? So we see that the model, without the Peace Project, without a week of the Peace Project, the model, the time series model, would predict around where the red dot is. However, the actual count was much lower, right? So there was a big drop in count, and you had to account for the effects of the weather. So after you subtract the effect of the weather, where you are left is the effect of on crime during that week, right? So what the model showed was that there was an effect. The reduction was around 13%, but the point is that it's highly significant. Right, so when
highly significant. That's so good to hear.
Significant, yes. It's not just a little drop in here. It was a significant drop in crime, and the effect is, and that drop is beyond the drop that would have naturally happened due to weather. So right. So this is important. So because we want to establish causality, we want to say that the meditation caused this drop in in the crime count. So you want to rule out every other possible variable.
Okay. And tell people about the paper that you're working on with all of our research. In fact, can we see your face again as you share with us about your
Sorry, I forgot to do that. But yeah, we're doing, Bethany proposed to do a 10-piece project. So we've been collecting the data for all the piece projects that she has run. So the idea is that we're going to finally publish a paper with the combined piece projects. And as I said, it's like, well, I mentioned causality. So you would say, well, how do I know really? I don't trust you that the peace project was the cost of the drop in the crime. And I'm with you. I would not trust it, right? Because you could say, well, it was just a fluke, 1 year. And rightly so. You, as a scientific mind, you should think that way, right? But that's why it is important that we are repeating these experiments over and over and over and over and over again, because if each time that you do it, you see the effect, then it's no longer a fluke. And then you're establishing that something is going on and something positive is going on, right? That is decreasing the crime. And
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
Oh, just absolutely. I mean, I just, the reason why we pushed on with this is because this is the truth of who we are, that we can vote with our hearts, that we can actually have the goodness of our hearts vote and make a difference in this world. And so that's why Corinne and I are continue to do this. And we're going to be inviting you to also participate in our next Louisville project that is going to be this summer in July. And anything else you want to say about that, Corinne, or?
Yes, so, this for me is very exciting, that the fact that what we're doing has an effect. So it has an effect in the larger society, and it's something that we can all do, right? Because the original TM studies, it was actually the crime reduction was on the same order of magnitude that we are having, but they were saying that their meditation was the best, and maybe so, but it's very exciting that the method that Bethany has is also is showing a similar type of effect. So, and her method is free and it's easy to learn. Bethany will train people who want to be meditation leaders in the city, and then anybody who wants to participate just simply had to make 15 minutes of time available just to listen in meditation and follow along. So it cannot be easier than that. So
Right.
as a friend of us, Mark Shepard, sings in his song, together we can change the world.
Absolutely. And that's a message that we so desperately need to hear right now, that we can believe in something, correct? That we can believe in ourselves, believe in our own hearts. Speaking of which, just so you know, in the first few years, we used to see people participate in peace projects. And the only way I could describe it at the end is they were, quote, crazy happy. That's my technical word for it. So I said to Corinne, I said, why don't we measure this about people getting happier in the peace projects? And I'm going to throw it to her, but you remember, Corinne, that our results were, it was up to an 84% increase in happiness in only 8 days. Do you want to just briefly talk about how you did that? You analyzed our data, and for that people get happy when they do these peace projects. It's not rocket science. You just do because of the way the work works.
So as you know, there's a lot of people interested in happiness. So by now, the psychologists have created this survey to actually measure before and after. So what we did is we took that basic survey and we modified it for the purposes of the peace project. So what we were very happy to see is that there's a very strong difference.
Very strong.
When you start. Before you start the project and then you measure it again, at the end of the project, the measurement happens with a survey. It's subjective, yes, but there's a huge difference in perception about yourself, about your own happiness that happens when you participate in the peace project. So yeah, it was about an 80% increase in happiness. So
Absolutely. And, I just, if you want to know more about that, I've worked in the field of biofeedback for 30 years and put it all into a book called Become a Consciousness Athlete. So basically you can know the method yourself as well, if you're interested in getting the book, or just participate in peace projects. That's more important, because that is, then we can obtain data that can empower our children and the future generations about who we really are in the etheric. And that goodness can, if we all learn to discipline our minds and hold our focus on sweetness and goodness and beauty, that there is an effect. Unfortunately, there's so much noise in the bans about the violence and people video gaming and the wars and the this. We've got to start balancing that with some beauty, and that is our passion for this work. And we cannot do this work without you. So. Oh, and we're going to be doing, did I already say this? This summer, we'll be repeating this study in Louisville. That's right. So please stay tuned. It'll be the end of July. And also, finally, so many times at peace projects, people say, oh, can we keep going? And there's always been a little bit of hesitation. What we've now created is something called the Legion of Light, where we're going to be basically following similar protocol and sending out a meditation every day to bathe this planet in a grid of light. Every day. We're collaborating with the Monroe Institute, and we're just going to have these results that we're getting at the city level that couldn't just validate it is a true, real phenomenon happening. Well, then what if we all went to our meditation cushions every day and we just said, we're just going to bathe the planet in light each day? What could we actually do?
I love that. And we so need it right now. With
Yes.
everything that's going on, like not only so many people struggling with mental health after COVID, and the other issues that are going on in the world, that we do need it. So please,
We do.
Spread
the word. Right. Thank you. Spread the word. It's hard to believe in intention. I get it. I will tell you that what happens is these latent resources come out when we invite it. There's a quote from the Course in Miracles that says, our job is to begin the miracle. We just need to begin the miracle. Latent resources kind of come from the ethers and the sides. I've seen it happen in my own life all the time, as frustrated as I've been at times. Then you see it come out and you realize it was all coalescing just perfectly as we were sending out intentions. So know that this work works, and we need your help, because we cannot do this by ourselves. Conan and I can, I always say, we can make a beautiful dining room table, but unless people come and eat, unless people come and do the research, it doesn't matter, right? Corinne's here ready to help us, and let's give her some work to do, okay?
Yeah, I'm happy to do more work.
Yay, right?
Especially
I know,
for this one, especially for this.
Right? We're so blessed. So yes, let's put Corinne to work. I'll make a new song. Let's put her to work. Okay, let's do it. Okay. So all right. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Appreciate it. Please stay tuned. Share this with as many people as possible. We need to know that beauty is strength. So, all right, take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Okay, bye.